What do a mythical monkey king, a shy teenager named Jin, and a high school jock with a loud cousin have in common? On the surface, not much. But in American born Chinese, their stories are woven together into a powerful message about identity and acceptance. Their journeys may seem separate at first, but they form a cohesive narrative that reveals something deeply human about our struggle with belonging. American Born Chinese is a graphic novel that tells three different stories, each unique but equally compelling. First, there's the Monkey King, a legendary figure from Chinese folklore, whose tale mixes humor and mythology. Then there's Jin Wang, a Chinese American teenager navigating the complex social world of middle school. And finally, there's Danny, a seemingly typical high school jock whose life is appended every year by the arrival of his outrageous cousin Shinki. But here's the twist. These stories aren't just separate threads, they're connected, forming a single transformative message. In this video, we'll explore how these narratives intertwine and why their connection matters so much. First, the Monkey King. The Monkey King's story starts with confidence and power. He rules over Flower Fruit Mountain and is one of the most skilled martial artists in existence. But when he's excluded from a heavenly dinner party because he's just a monkey, everything changes. Humiliated, he vows to prove his worth. He trains, transforms, and even denies his true nature, striving to be seen as an equal among the gods. His journey isn't just about rebellion, it's a struggle for self worth and validation, themes that echo strongly in the other narratives. Then we have Jin Wang. Moving to a new school is tough for anyone, but for Jin, it's even harder. He's one of the few Asian students in a predominantly white school, and he quickly becomes a target for teasing and isolation. Jin's story captures the painful realities of feeling different and wanting to belong. He changes his hairstyle, distances himself from Wei Shen, and even dreams of transforming into someone entirely new. It's a journey filled with moments of vulnerability and the universal desire to fit in. And finally, there's Danny. He has everything Jin wants: popularity, confidence, and a normal life. But every year, his cousin Shinki shows up, bringing chaos with his exaggerated behavior and outdated stereotypes. Danny's frustration with Shinki's feel extreme, but it speaks to a deeper issue: shame. Shinki isn't just a character, he's a manifestation of all the cultural baggage Danny, and by extension, Jin, wants to escape. So, how does these narrative intertwine? At first glance, these stories seems like three separate tales, but the more you read, the more connection you start to notice. All three characters go through a phase of rejecting who they truly are. The Monkey King denies his identity as a monkey, aspiring to be a god instead. Jin distances himself from his cultural heritage and friends, trying to assimilate into a predominantly white environment. Danny tries to erase all connections to his cousin Shinki, who represents everything he's embarrassed about in his background. But just as they all reject their identities, they also come to accept them in powerful ways. The Monkey King realized his strength comes from who he is, not who he pretends to be. Jin learns to embrace his culture and his friendships, finding peace in being himself. And Danny, who revealed to be Jin, confronts his internal shame and begins to reclaim his identity. These moments of acceptance are what truly unite their stories and drive home the novel's message. Each of these characters carries rich symbolism that deepens their stories. The Monkey King's shoes symbolize his humility and the struggle to embrace his true nature. Early in the story, the gods mock him for not wearing shoes, marking him as different and lesser. These shoes becomes a reminder of his identity as a monkey and the journey he must take to accept his place in the world. For Jin, the transformer toy he carries is more than a plaything. It's a metaphor for his desire to change into something else entirely. This toy reflects Jin's internal conflict, his wish to adapt and transform into someone who fits in. But like a transformer, this change is only external, masking his true self. It serves as a subtle but powerful reminder of how his struggle to conform comes at the cost of his authenticity. Meanwhile, Shinki's exaggerated behavior isn't just for comedic effect. He's a symbol of all the stereotypes and cultural baggage Jin wants to distance himself from. His loud, over the top actions embody the negative caricatures of Chinese identity that Jin fears will define him. Jin Qi acts as a mirror, forcing both Jin and the reader to confront the ways stereotypes distort cultural identity and perpetuate shame. These symbols remind us that identity isn't just about who we are, it's also shaped by how we see ourselves and how others see us. When the three stories come together, the message becomes crystal clear. Identity is not something you can run from or deny. The Monkey King's acceptance of his true form shows the power of self acceptance. Jin's realization, especially through his interaction with the Monkey King, emphasized that embracing your heritage is the key to finding inner peace. The story also confronts the danger of stereotypes, showing how they can damage not only how others see us, but how we see ourselves. These intertwined narratives create a layered exploration of cultural identity, self worth, and the courage to accept who you truly are. American Born Chinese is more than just a graphic novel. It's a deeply resonant exploration of identity. By weaving together the Monkey King's epic tale, Jin's personal struggle, and Danny's shocking transformation, it crafts a story that speaks to anyone who has ever felt out of place or ashamed of who they are. This storytelling style, which combines three intertwined narratives, enriches the story by adding depth and complexity. It allows the reader to experience the same themes from multiple perspectives: mythological, personal, and exaggerated satire, each layer adding more emotional weight. This approach also helps highlight how universal the themes of identity, rejection, and acceptance truly are. The mythical elements makes the story feel larger than life, giving it a timeless quality. while the personal struggles grounded in a relatable real-world context. Finally, the exaggerated stereotype served as a wake-up call, urging readers to confront the harmful ways in which identity is shaped by society. This layered storytelling draws readers in and leaves a lasting impression, making American Born Chinese not just a story, but an experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey through American Born Chinese.